A lot of people quietly accept blurry vision as just another part of getting older. They assume that squinting at menus, struggling to read small print, or feeling uncomfortable when headlights flare at night is simply what happens after 60. So they buy stronger glasses, turn up screen brightness, and keep eye drops close by. But here's what most people are never clearly told. Blurry vision is not always just age. Often, it's damage. And much of that damage happens silently while you sleep. At night, when you think your body is resting and repairing itself, your eyes are actually undergoing one of the most delicate recovery processes in your body. The retina, the light-sensitive layer at the back of your eye, is one of the most metabolically active tissues you have. It consumes enormous amounts of oxygen, is constantly exposed to oxidative stress, and depends on strong circulation to stay healthy. As you age, blood flow to this tissue can decrease. When that happens, the tiny cells responsible for sharp vision begin to weaken. The frightening part is that you don't feel it happening. Instead, you notice subtle changes. Headlights look harsher. Colors seem slightly faded. Reading takes more effort. Morning vision feels foggy and slow to clear. Over time, those small changes build on each other. But here is the encouraging truth. Certain natural compounds found in everyday fruits can support retinal repair, reduce oxidative stress, and improve circulation to the small vessels feeding your eyes, especially when consumed at the right time. And timing matters far more than most people realize. Night is when retinal cells attempt to repair themselves. It's when your body shifts into restoration mode. Providing specific nutrients 60 to 90 minutes before sleep allows those compounds to circulate during that repair window when your eyes need them most. Let's begin with kiwi. Small, fuzzy, and often overlooked, kiwi contains a powerful combination of lutein and zeaxanthin, two carotenoids that accumulate directly in the retina. Think of them as internal sunglasses. They help filter harmful blue light and reduce oxidative damage in the macula, the part of the retina responsible for central vision. As we age, levels of these protective pigments naturally decline. While supplements exist, whole foods provide additional antioxidant compounds that may work synergistically. Kiwi is also rich in vitamin C, which plays a role in maintaining healthy blood vessels. The retina depends on extremely tiny capillaries, and strong vessel integrity matters. There's another layer here that many people don't consider. Kiwi contains compounds that support serotonin production, and serotonin plays a role in regulating sleep cycles. Deep sleep is when cellular repair processes are most active. Some small studies have found that regular kiwi consumption improved sleep quality in older adults. Better sleep indirectly supports better retinal recovery. To use it properly, eat 2 ripe golden kiwis about 1 hour before bed. Golden varieties tend to be slightly higher in certain antioxidants and lower in acidity, making them gentler late at night. Instead of aggressively peeling, slice, and scoop the flesh, leaving the thin layer just beneath the skin intact, as it contains additional polyphenols your eyes may benefit from. Next is watermelon, a fruit most people associate with summer hydration. Yes, it's over 90% water, and hydration is more important for your eyes than you might think. Tear production naturally decreases during sleep, and mild dehydration can worsen morning dryness and irritation. But watermelon offers more than fluid. It is rich in lycopene, a carotenoid studied for its antioxidant activity. Lycopene appears to help reduce oxidative stress in tissues exposed to light, including retinal cells. Watermelon also contains citrulline, especially in the white portion near the rind. Citrulline supports nitric oxide production, which helps blood vessels relax and widen. This matters because retinal cells depend on steady microcirculation. Improved vessel flexibility supports oxygen delivery during the night, when repair processes are active. To use it, enjoy 1 to 2 cups of seedless watermelon about 45 minutes before bed. Avoid adding salt, as excessive sodium can influence fluid balance. If you're open to it, blending small portions of the white rind into a smoothie increases citrulline intake, potentially supporting circulation even more. Now let's talk about black currants, deep purple berries that are often overlooked but extraordinarily rich in anthocyanins. These pigments give the berries their dark color and much of their protective strength. Anthocyanins have been studied for their ability to support retinal blood flow and reduce inflammation. In some clinical trials involving adults with glaucoma, blackcurrant extract was associated with improvements in markers of ocular circulation over extended periods. While this is not a cure for any disease, improved blood flow means better nutrient delivery and waste removal, both essential for long-term retinal health. Blackcurrants may also support regeneration of rhodopsin, the pigment in rod cells that allows you to see in low light. This can be particularly helpful for older adults who struggle with night vision or adjusting between light and dark environments. If fresh black currants are unavailable, standardized extract capsules containing around 50 milligrams of anthocyanins have been used in research. If using fresh berries, consume about half a cup in the evening and consider pairing them with a small amount of healthy fat, such as a few walnuts to improve absorption. Blueberries come next, but there's a detail most people miss. Not all blueberries are equal. Wild blueberries, the smaller and darker variety often found frozen, contain significantly higher antioxidant concentrations than cultivated ones. Their anthocyanins have been studied for supporting visual acuity and reducing oxidative stress in retinal tissue. Some research suggests that blueberry consumption may support improved night vision adaptation, although results vary. Timing again matters. Eat about 1/3 of a cup of wild blueberries roughly an hour before bed. Avoid mixing them immediately with dairy, as certain milk proteins may bind polyphenols and potentially reduce absorption. Lightly thaw frozen wild blueberries before eating. Freezing can break down cell walls, making antioxidants more available. Rinse gently under cool water just before eating. Overwashing can remove surface compounds. Here's what I want you to understand at this point. Your eyes are not passive organs. They are living tissue, constantly adapting and responding to what you provide them. They repair at night. They depend on circulation, antioxidants, hydration, and sleep quality. When you give your body the right nutrients at the right time, you create an environment where repair is supported instead of interrupted. Blurry vision is not always inevitable. Sometimes it reflects accumulated stress, and sometimes that stress can be reduced through small, consistent changes. We still have the top 3 fruits to discuss, the ones that address deeper mechanisms like oxygenation, macular density, and glycation, processes directly involved in cataracts and age-related vision decline. But even now, you can begin to see a pattern. Simple evening habits can influence what happens in your eyes overnight. And sometimes the difference between worsening vision and stable clarity begins with something as small as what you choose to eat before bed. Now let's move into the top 3 fruits, the ones that address deeper and more overlooked causes of declining vision. Oxygen deprivation in retinal tissue, thinning of the macula, and gradual structural breakdown that many people mistakenly assume is simply old age. These are the mechanisms that quietly drive macular degeneration, reduced contrast sensitivity, difficulty seeing at night, and that unsettling feeling that your eyes are tired even after a full night of sleep. And the first fruit in this category may surprise you. Dragon fruit. You've likely seen it in the store, Nyan. Bright pink on the outside, almost alien-looking. But the real value is in the deep red flesh. That intense color comes from compounds called betalains, rare antioxidants that support nitric oxide production in the body. Nitric oxide is crucial for blood vessel flexibility. It allows small capillaries to widen, improving circulation in delicate tissues, including the retina. As we age, microcirculation often declines. Tiny vessels stiffen. Oxygen delivery becomes less efficient. When retinal cells don't receive consistent oxygen during the night, repair processes weaken. Over time, that contributes to dimmer vision, duller colors, and reduced peripheral clarity. Studies examining red dragon fruit extracts have shown improvements in markers related to vascular function and tissue oxygenation. While research specific to vision is still evolving, the mechanism is clear. Better circulation supports better repair. If you want to use dragon fruit effectively, eat half of a ripe red-fleshed variety about an hour before bed. The white varieties do not contain the same concentration of betalains. And here's something most people overlook. Chew the tiny black seeds thoroughly. They contain small amounts of omega-3 fatty acids and magnesium, both involved in nerve stability and cellular recovery. Swallowing them whole reduces that benefit. Think of dragon fruit as nourishment for the tiny vessels that keep your retina alive overnight. Now let's talk about goji berries, a fruit with a long history in traditional medicine and a growing body of modern research supporting its use. Goji berries are one of the richest natural sources of zeaxanthin, a carotenoid that concentrates in the macula, the central area of the retina responsible for detailed vision. If you've ever struggled to read fine print or noticed that faces look slightly less sharp than they used to, the macula may be under strain. Age-related macular degeneration is one of the leading causes of vision loss in older adults, and declining macular pigment density is a major contributor. Zeaxanthin acts as a protective shield in this region, absorbing harmful blue light and reducing oxidative stress. In a clinical study involving adults aged 60 to 80, participants who consumed goji berries regularly showed measurable increases in macular pigment density over several months. While this does not mean goji berries cure macular degeneration, it suggests they may help strengthen central visual protection when used consistently. To use them properly, soak 2 tablespoons of dried goji berries in warm water for about 10 minutes to soften them. This improves digestibility, especially in older adults with slower digestion. Eat them about 30 to 45 minutes before bed so the zeaxanthin can circulate during the repair window. For enhanced absorption, pair them with a small source of healthy fat, perhaps a few almonds or a small square of high cacao dark chocolate. Carotenoids are fat-soluble, and without some fat present, your body cannot fully absorb them. This small step can significantly increase their effectiveness. And now we arrive at fruit number 1, the one that targets one of the most destructive and overlooked processes in aging eyes: glycation. Glycation occurs when excess sugars in the bloodstream bind to proteins and lipids, forming compounds known as advanced glycation end products. These compounds accumulate in tissues over time, contributing to stiffness, clouding, and structural damage. In the eye, glycation is strongly linked to cataract formation and lens opacity. As proteins in the lens become glycated, they lose clarity, leading to the gradual cloudiness many older adults experience. Papaya is particularly interesting in this context because it contains an enzyme called papain. Papain assists in protein breakdown and may help reduce the burden of glycated proteins when consumed regularly. Papaya is also rich in vitamins A, C, and E, a trio of antioxidants that work together to protect retinal tissue and maintain tear film stability. Vitamin A supports photoreceptor health. Vitamin C strengthens capillaries. Vitamin E protects cell membranes from oxidative damage. In a recent study focusing on older adults, consistent papaya consumption was associated with lower markers of oxidative stress and improved tear production after several weeks. Again, this is not a cure, but it is meaningful support. To use papaya properly, eat 1 cup of ripe, room temperature papaya about 60 minutes before bed. Avoid eating it straight from the refrigerator. Colder temperatures can slightly reduce enzyme activity. Do not combine it immediately with dairy, as certain milk proteins can interfere with papain's effectiveness. A small squeeze of fresh lime juice enhances flavor and may support vitamin absorption, particularly vitamin A. Now let's pause and talk about something crucial. What you eat matters, but how you eat it matters just as much. Many people unknowingly cancel out benefits by combining fruit with the wrong foods or consuming it at the wrong time. Calcium-heavy meals can reduce absorption of carotenoids like lutein and zeaxanthin. If you've just had yogurt, milk, or fortified cereal, wait at least 90 minutes before eating your fruit. Give those nutrients a chance to be absorbed independently. Likewise, remember that most of these compounds are fat-soluble. Pairing your fruit with a small amount of healthy fat, walnuts, flaxseed, avocado, or dark chocolate, can significantly enhance absorption. Gentle rinsing is sufficient. Aggressive washing can strip away valuable surface antioxidants, and timing remains critical. Eat your chosen fruit about 1 hour before bed. Too early and nutrients may circulate and decline before your eyes enter deep repair mode. Too late, and digestion may interfere with restorative sleep. That 60-minute window allows compounds to peak in circulation when retinal repair processes are most active. What I want you to understand is this. Your eyes are not isolated from the rest of your body. They are deeply connected to circulation, blood sugar balance, inflammation levels, and sleep quality. When you support systemic health, you support ocular health. When you reduce oxidative stress, you protect retinal cells. When you improve circulation, you nourish the macula. When you enhance sleep, you amplify nighttime repair. We still have one final section to discuss: how to structure an ideal evening eye recovery routine, how to rotate these fruits for maximum benefit, and what realistic results look like over weeks and months. Because vision improvement is rarely overnight, it is gradual, it is cumulative, and it depends on consistency. But by now, you can likely see the pattern. These fruits are not random snacks. They are targeted nutritional tools. Used correctly, they may support clearer mornings, steadier night vision, and stronger long-term protection against age-related decline. Now let's bring everything together into something practical, realistic, and sustainable. Because knowing which fruits support your eyes is helpful, but knowing how to use them consistently is what actually makes the difference over time. Vision does not improve overnight. The retina repairs slowly. Macular pigment builds gradually. Circulation improves with repetition, not urgency. So instead of thinking in terms of quick fixes, think in terms of nightly nourishment. Your eyes enter their deepest repair cycle during the first few hours of sleep, particularly during slow-wave sleep. That is when cellular cleanup processes increase, oxidative stress is neutralized more efficiently, and damaged proteins are broken down and replaced. The goal of a bedtime fruit routine is simple. Make sure the nutrients your eyes need are circulating in your bloodstream during that repair window. The easiest way to approach this is rotation rather than overload. You do not need to eat all 7 fruits every night. In fact, variety may be more beneficial. One simple pattern is this: choose 1 circulation-supporting fruit, 1 macula-supporting fruit, and 1 antioxidant-rich fruit on alternating evenings. For example, one night you might have dragon fruit for circulation, paired with a small handful of wild blueberries for oxidative protection. The next evening, you might soak goji berries and combine them with kiwi. On another night, papaya could be your focus, especially if you are concerned about early lens clouding or dryness. The idea is consistency over intensity. Small amounts used regularly are more powerful than large amounts used occasionally. Timing remains important. Aim to eat your fruit about 60 minutes before bed. That window allows digestion to begin while preventing late-night stomach activity from interfering with sleep. If you tend to go to bed at 10, eat your fruit around 9. Keep the portion moderate. Overeating, even healthy food, can elevate blood sugar and disturb sleep quality, which works against retinal recovery. Pairing fruit with a small amount of healthy fat, a few walnuts, a teaspoon of flaxseed, or a small piece of dark chocolate, improves absorption of fat-soluble carotenoids like lutein and zeaxanthin. Avoid pairing fruit immediately with dairy or heavy calcium-rich meals. Give your body space to absorb the nutrients without competition. Hydration also plays a quiet but important role. Many older adults experience mild dehydration without realizing it. Even slight fluid deficits can reduce tear production and thicken blood flow to delicate tissues. Drink water earlier in the evening, but avoid large amounts immediately before bed to prevent sleep interruption. Stable hydration supports stable circulation, and stable circulation supports retinal nourishment. Let's talk about realistic expectations. In the first 1 to 2 weeks, most people will not notice dramatic changes. What may improve first is morning comfort. Slightly less dryness, less gritty sensation, perhaps clearer vision within the first few minutes of waking. Around the 4-week mark, some individuals report better adaptation when moving from bright to dim environments. Headlights may feel less harsh. Screen glare may be slightly reduced. By 8 to 12 weeks, consistent intake of macular supporting nutrients like zeaxanthin may begin to influence pigment density in measurable ways, though this varies from person to person. These are gradual shifts, not overnight transformations. But gradual shifts are how long-term protection is built. Now let's address an important question. Can fruit alone reverse serious eye disease? No. Conditions like advanced macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, or glaucoma require medical care. But nutritional support can be complementary. It may help slow progression, support comfort, and strengthen resilience. Think of fruit as foundational support, not replacement therapy. Your ophthalmologist monitors structural changes. Your nightly nutrition supports the environment those structures live in. There is also a broader lifestyle piece here. Blood sugar balance influences glycation. Chronic inflammation influences retinal stress. Poor sleep disrupts repair cycles. Excessive screen exposure increases blue light strain. When you combine nutritional support with balanced meals, steady sleep schedules, and moderate screen habits, the benefits multiply. Even brief evening exposure to warm lighting rather than harsh blue light can support melatonin production, which indirectly influences cellular repair. Everything connects. Let's imagine something for a moment. Imagine waking up and opening your eyes without that familiar haze. Imagine driving at dusk and feeling less anxious about glare. Imagine reading small print with slightly less strain. These are not miracles. They are the accumulation of hundreds of small, consistent choices. 1 cup of papaya, 2 soaked tablespoons of goji berries, half a dragon fruit, a handful of wild blueberries. Night after night, your eyes have served you for decades. They have processed millions of images, colors, and faces. They deserve the same quiet care you would give your heart or your joints. And unlike many organs, they give you immediate feedback. When circulation improves, you notice. When dryness decreases, you feel it. When glare softens, you experience it directly. Now here's something equally important: patience. Many people abandon nutritional strategies after 2 weeks because they do not see dramatic change. But retinal tissue turnover is slow. Macular pigment accumulation is slow. Glycation reversal is slow. The key word is slow and steady. If you commit to 60 days of consistent, properly timed fruit intake, you are giving your eyes a real opportunity to respond. Let's summarize the simple protocol. Choose 1 or 2 fruits per evening. Eat them about 1 hour before bed. Pair with a small amount of healthy fat. Avoid dairy close to that window. Keep portions moderate. Stay hydrated earlier in the evening. Maintain a consistent sleep schedule. Rotate fruits across the week for variety. Monitor how your eyes feel in the morning and at night. Adjust gently, not drastically. Blurry vision is often described as inevitable aging. But aging is not a single event. It is a process influenced by environment, nutrition, and behavior. While genetics play a role, so do daily habits. When you consistently supply antioxidants, circulation-supporting compounds, and macular protective carotenoids, you create a more supportive internal environment. That environment matters. Before we close, I want you to think about something personal. If your vision improved even 10% over the next 3 months, what would that change? Would you feel more confident driving? Would reading feel easier? Would recognizing faces from across the room bring more comfort? Sometimes small improvements create large emotional shifts. Independence often hinges on subtle clarity. If you found this helpful, share it with someone who might benefit. Many older adults quietly assume their vision decline is unstoppable. It isn't always, and sometimes the first step is as simple as choosing a different evening snack. Take care of your eyes. They are not replaceable. They are precious. And with consistent support, they can remain clearer longer than you might expect.